where we are now, I would say Gaza is no more. Gaza has been pulverized, it's been obliterated, and that was the Israeli goal from October 7th. As you recall for sure, the statements that immediately came out after October 7th spoke about Amalek, spoke about there not being any civilians in Gaza. The intention was to once and for all liquidate, solve the Gaza question. And in my opinion, they have succeeded in that regard. And the prospects for the people of Gaza, my guess is, and it's pure speculation here, by hook or by crook, they're going to find a way to leave because there is nothing that remains. The estimate is about 60 to 70% of Gaza's infrastructure has been destroyed. The hospitals were targeted, the universities were targeted, obviously homes were targeted. So there is nothing left. And that was the intention. The Gaza Hamas aspect was pretty much a sideshow.
My question was, where should the Gazan civilians go to be safe?
The Gazan civilians today have an opportunity after Hamas
No, that's not my
that has
question.
subjugated them
No, you can't.
to rebuild their
Fine,
society.
that wasn't my question. My question is, where can they currently go to be safe?
To the safe spaces that Israel has assigned,
Where?
where Israel is not attacking.
Where?
Well, it depends where. At one point, they moved them from Rafah. They said it couldn't be done. You can't move 1 million people. We did, with absolutely almost zero casualties. And so it can be done. You can move a population out of the way. Hamas is actively putting them in the way. That is what nobody talks about.
But the other argument,
war crime
but the other
of Hamas.
Yes, but the other argument is that Israel is indiscriminately attacking everywhere and then saying, you know what? Hamas are there. They're still under Israel control?
I don't think Israel should be controlling them.
So Israel would back off completely?
We have to retain security control so we don't have another
so you
massacre.
would have control. Okay.
But not administrative
All right.
control.
Well, you just said you don't have control.
But eventually we don't have to have any
You know what?
control.
Eventually, it'd be really nice,
But
actually, if
Piers,
Israel had no
why did
control
we
of
live-
Palestine.
yes.
What I don't think anyone can argue, Israeli or Palestinian, since the start of this war on October the 7th, 8th, is that the aggressive expansion of settlements on the West Bank by Israelis since the start of this war, in my estimation, has not just been outrageous, I think it actually constitutes an indisputable war crime. What are they doing?
Do you know, have you ever read Oslo?
I'm very aware of
Okay,
it.
so let me
I've
tell
actually
you.
interviewed...
So let me tell you what Oslo.
Why are you assuming
was-
things? I ask you questions.
I'm asking you a question because when you talk about it, you don't understand what was actually.
I've literally... Sorry.
I think he understands.
I've literally specifically asked you about
I'm going to answer.
the aggressive expansion of settlements since October the 7th. It is indefensible, it is illegal, and in my estimation, it is a war crime. Now, we know that's happening because we can see it. We can see it.
Occupation.
What we can't see in Gaza is anything because the journalists aren't allowed in.
There's no... Yes, and if the journalists were allowed in and they got killed, you'd say Israel's killing journalists. So you can't win, can you?
What do you think of the aggressive expansion of settlements
on
the West Bank since the war started?
I reject the premise of that, and I'll tell you why.
But you think it's fine?
Let me ask you a question.
Do you support the expansion? I've had Jewish guests who have condemned it.
There's no occupation.
There's no occupation.
She said there's no occupation.
Do you think these expansions are fine?
I want to answer the question.
Are they justified?
I want to answer the question.
Well, yes or no?
Oslo.
Give me yes or no.
Split.
I'm not interested in Oslo.
Oslo split. No, because the whole premise of
I'm
your
asking you a simple question, Fleur.
You...
Has the expansion of settlements in the West Bank since the start of this war been justified, yes or no?
94%
yes or no?
of Palestinians
yes or no?
are living under their own autonomy
yes or no, Fleur?
in Judea
yes or
and
no?
Samaria.
Is it justified?
What do you mean?
Is it justified?
Of course, we're justified. We are building communities. There are communities in Judea and Samaria.
You're forcing people out of their homes
Nobody's been forced out of their homes.
illegally.
Have you ever looked at Area C?
International law says you're breaking the law.
There's no homes. There's desert. It's the Judean desert where there's settlements.
It's very interesting because, OK, should Hamas have any form of power in any government after this war?
Piers, I've answered that question to you before, but I'll answer it again. I will be succinct. If Hamas, by killing 1,200 people on October 7th, disqualified itself from participating in any future in the resolution of the conflict, then Israel, by a factor of maybe 20 times more, has disqualified itself. And we have to add, it's not just the state of Israel, it's the entire population of Israel, which gets more and more enthusiastic and relishes more and more each time a massacre unfolds in Gaza.
He is assigning a cult of death to Israel. Israel is a cult of life.
Let me ask you a question.
Israel
Fleur.
is.
Let me ask you, Fleur.
I have four
It's a
children.
cult.
Let me
here.
ask you.
Let me
I
ask
have
you.
four
Israel-
children,
Yeah.
and they come home singing songs. One day we'll
Yeah.
have peace. And you know what they
And you
teach
know what
them in the
else they
Palestinian?
sing? You know what
Gee,
else
let
they
me
sing? They
finish.
sing
The
death
very
to the
rude. He's
Arabs.
not let me answer
They also
any
sing death
question.
to the Arabs.
That's not true.
Even when
You
they go
do
to
not live
foreign
in Israel.
countries,
You have
even
not
when
been
they go
to Israel
Amsterdam,
in I don't know how long.
They sing death to the Arabs.
He's wrong.
Even in
In
Amsterdam,
Israel-
they sing death to the Arabs. In fact, even in Amsterdam, they sang, you know why there are no
Again,
more schools
the abused
in Gaza?
wife, he's justifying
because there
the
are no
pogrom.
more children in
The
Gaza.
abused wife is
That's what they
justifying
were
a
chanting
pogrom.
in Amsterdam.
He's justifying the pogrom, the
cult
abused
of
wife.
life. Yes.
Abused wife syndrome. Justifying the pogrom.
Israel has a cult of life for Jews.
That's not true.
L'chaim.
And the 20%
and
of
death to
Arabs.
all the Arabs.